If you live in Western Lane County or you do business here, then you know what a special place we have.
There are so many things to love about Western Lane County.
It's beautiful here.
This is the most beautiful place in the country.
And I think that's what draws people here.
The river and the mountains, that is so special. I like the community spirit out here.
I like the volunteers.
I love the sense of volunteerism.
I love the friendliness of this community.
I really love this area. It has a great base of volunteers.
This town moves on volunteers.
I love the community's generosity.
People care for one another here.
I love what it does for its young folks.
The thing that caused me to stay here and want to live here would be the people.
In order to leave a legacy, there needs to be someone or something that you love or care about very deeply.
Legacy to me just means making an impact on people's lives, being able to help them.
It means continuing to support causes that we care about.
Now, when I hear the word legacy, I immediately think about what have I done for the community? What have I done in my life that gives meaning to other people?
Leaving an impact on either your community or your family.
What I leave for my children.
Well, I'd like to leave a legacy of less people being hungry.
Legacy is your gift.
The idea of leaving something behind to help future generations.
To give them a hope and a future.
That's important.
A community foundation helps create legacies through philanthropic endeavors, such as endowment funds, scholarships for students, and grants for projects that give back to the area.
What we do is we move resources. We move resources from people who have them to people who need them, and we do so in a way that honors the giver and allows them some control over what happens with the earnings that their gift may have through the years. So it maximizes the impact of their gift. It meets their specific needs, both tax-wise and giving-wise and cause-wise, whatever that might be. Western Lane Community Foundation can come up with a means and a way to make it happen.
Helping Hands, our primary mission is to serve the homeless and those that are most needy in our area. The Western Lane Community Foundation has been a backbone for us. Western Lane Community Foundation keeps our voucher program going. We wouldn't be able to do it without them.
This foundation is worth about $5.5 million. Here at the end of March, we presented over $90,000 worth of grants. That's in addition to just normal endowment distributions. That's in addition to scholarships. We are in the area of $240,000 that the foundation is presenting to the community, all because of the investments.
This community does really good things for people. The reason we made this our discretionary fund for the Western Lane Community Foundation was over the years we've been involved in different nonprofits in the city. And a few years ago, my mother passed and I received some funds that I could use to help people. We went to a presentation from Western Lane Community Foundation last year and decided to talk about maybe setting up a fund that we could help long after we're gone.
When we moved to Florence about 9 years ago, we were struck by the level of volunteerism in this community. And when our realtor showed us around the community, he was pointing out some of the major accomplishments that have been completed here, like the event center and like the library and the parks. And we were so impressed with what had been accomplished by dedicated everyday people here. And by becoming part of the Western Lane Community Foundation, by establishing that fund, we wanted to do our small part in helping to make a lasting difference for this community and in helping to leave a legacy that can make a difference for future efforts for these really amazing volunteers and community members we have here. And we wanted to do our part to make this community even better than it already is long term.
We serve emergency food boxes to anybody that is food insecure, disabled, unemployed, underemployed, children, seniors, basically anybody that's hungry we offer food to. And Western Lane Community Foundation has been extremely generous to Food Share over the years. They just recently gave us close to $10,000 for an emergency generator. Over the past 5 years we've received close to $25,000, and they've just been incredibly generous, and we're so grateful to them.
The foundation has been making an impact in Western Lane County for the last 40 years.
Western Lane Community Foundation was established about 74, maybe as late as 75, because it took some time to do it. I remember when I was president of Rotary that the word got out that Corvallis was starting a foundation. I went to a couple of the business leaders in our club and I said, what do you think of that idea? And they said, well, why don't you talk to the board about it? I said, a good idea. So I went to the board, they picked it right up and started putting it together, and the next thing I knew, the board announced we were having a foundation.
And it started out small and it's gotten bigger, so the legacy is growing and growing.
Like the Duracell bunny, it just goes on and on. And the people who catch that vision are establishing something that is going to help this community when they're gone and remembered only by what they did.
The cemetery's been here since 1883. The history of this area is so important because the pioneers that settled here were just cut from a different cloth than what we see today. We're really thankful to Western Lane Community Foundation because a year ago our records were basically a bunch of letters and scribbles in files. By getting the Western Lane Foundation's grant, we were able to purchase a laptop and software that's specific for a cemetery for the record keeping and also for the mapping in order to help people find their people.
Basically what you do is you give money to the foundation to grow it. As the donor, you can tell us how you want that money distributed, and if it changes through the years, you're still involved.
The WLCF is a way to use your money to give back to the community in perpetuity. Money left to the community is still there. It's still giving back just as intended.
As chairman of the scholarship committee, one of the best things I have to do is to give away scholarships to deserving students here in town and also in Mapleton. And it's a joy.
My name is Sari Thurman. I'm a nursing student here at LCC. Last year I was awarded a scholarship by the Western Lane Foundation. Scholarships to me mean more than just financial help. It's really impactful knowing that the community believes in my education and what I can do. So it's a motivation for me to receive something like this. So I just want to say thank you.
All the earnings from your gift will continue to give to whatever charity you choose, however you choose to set it up, whether it's a scholarship or a charitable organization.
As a member of the board, I've witnessed people get that grant, what a difference it's made. Alzheimer's Library, Boys and Girls Club, Food Share, school kids.
Because we work with Oregon Community Foundation, they grow that money for us. We don't have to worry about understanding the stock market or understanding finance or how those things work. We can concentrate on our community. And the Oregon Community Foundation takes those funds and makes the most of them. And when we get that money back, that earnings, that's what we distribute for the scholarships and the grants.
The foundation, a number of years ago, went beyond just their own funds and started helping other organizations within the community establish their own funds. And then sometimes they've given seed money.
When the hospital was built back in the 90s, when the library was built back in the 90s, when the event center was built back in the 90s, all of those funds went through the foundation, which gave contributors, donors, a more secure feeling of knowing, If I give this money, it is going to go where I want it to go.
The Humane Society takes in unwanted animals, stray animals. We spay, neuter, give them their appropriate shots, and then try to find homes for them. We are a no-kill shelter, so that's why we still have a lot of cats, because we haven't been able to find homes for some of the older cats. Our kittens go very quickly. We are supported by donations, grants, and some living trusts that Western Lane Foundation supports and monitors for us. We wouldn't be able to have computers this year if it wasn't for the grant that was received.
Western Lane Community Foundation can provide the most impact and can leave the greatest legacy from any one gift.
Thanks to Western Lane Community Foundation for helping make this computer lab possible. As you can see, the kids are really engaged in the content and are using problem-solving skills and working in collaborative teams to solve these challenges. Thank you, Western Lane!